Welcome to the Edupedia World, Virtual World Free Education. My name is Suraya Sayed, Microsoft Certified Trainer. In the previous video, I had studied with you how to use if function to test data to check if this data is meeting a specified condition, then take decision of doing a specified action. It wasn't difficult, right? In this video, I will show you how to nest multiple if function within one Excel formula. This allows you to test more than one condition where subsequent conditions are dependent on the first one. Let's see. As described previous, the if function syntax contains three major parts enclosed between brackets. The first part is the logical test, and part 2 value if true, part 3 value if false. Here we have only two outcomes from if function, value if true, value if false. But if you have more possibilities and more outcomes, so you need to nest multiple if function within one formula. That means to put one if function inside another to test multiple criteria and increase the number of possible outcomes. That can be done by replacing the false value with another if function to make a further test. Let's do replacing this with another if function. Great! Now we have two if function inside one formula. Also, we will have two logical tests, logical test number 1 and logical test number 2. Logical test number 2 will be applied if logical test number 1 is not verified. Also, we have value if true twice. If the value if true from the first formula is not met, we are going to apply the second value if true from the second if formula. And you can repeat the process more and more. You can add up to 7 if functions inside one formula. After finishing your formula, don't forget to check the number of if function used is equal to the number of open and closed brackets and equal also to the logical tests and value if true part. Now, time to practice, and I have prepared two examples for you to study how to use the nested if. The first one, I have 5 possibilities for each student. It might be excellent if his grade with between 85 and 100. The second possibility, if his grade is between 75 and 85. So I need Excel to recognize and type this student is very good. The third possibility is if the student grades was between 65 and 75, so his grade is good. The fourth possibility is if the student grades was between 65 and 50, he is pass, and otherwise the student is failed. And this is the fifth possibility, if the student mark is less than 50. Now let's see how we will apply the if function to solve this problem. I will check one by one from the top possibility to the last possibility, clicking on C3, then insert my first if function to make my first logical test and to check if the student marks which is saved in B3 is greater than 85. To express the first range between 85 and 100, I will type my logical test as B3 greater than 85. So if this is verified, I need Excel to type excellent in cell C3. Otherwise, what do I want Excel to do? I need Excel to test the total mark against the 4 other possibilities. If the first one is not verified, so let's move on to the next possibility. So in the third text box, which is value if false, I need to insert a new if formula. This can be done by clicking this text, the last text box, then clicking here in the formula tab. You can see the if button. When I click, the dialog box is replaced with a new dialog box for new arguments. And now my logical test will be, the second logical test is to test if B3 is greater than 75. If this logical test ends, this is the second logical test. If it is verified, I need Excel to type very good. And if not verified, so I need to test again if the third logical test. So I need to open another if function from the formula tab, click on the if button. A new dialog box is opened for the third if function in my formula. And now my logical test is also if B3 is greater than what? Now we will check if it is greater than 65, and Excel will understand by neglecting the first and the second ranges that now we are working in the range between 65 and 75. If Excel found that the mark of the student is between this range, I needed to type good. And if not, clicking the third text box and open the fourth if function inside my formula, and now I will check the same cell B3 if it is greater than what? Now I'm going to test if it is greater than 50. I need Excel to type pass. And going to the last parameter in my fourth if function, and ask yourself, in this situation, do I need to open a new if formula here? I just have only one possibility, which is failed, so I don't need to open a new if function. I will type failed here in my last if formula. Then I'll close my formula. This is long formula. It contains, if you look at the formula bar, you can see it contains how many if. It contains 1, 2, 3, 4 if. So if you have 5 possibilities, you need only to open 4 nested if. And here we have 4 logical tests. The first one, the second one, the third logical test, and the fourth logical test. Where is the fifth logical test? The answer was that we don't need to open a new if formula for the last logical test, and the last logical test has been merged inside the value if false section of the if number 4 function. And let's check we have how many closed bracket. We have 4 closed bracket for my 4 functions, and also we have separate open bracket, they are 4 also. So we have finished, then click OK. Let's see the result here. Because Ahmed's grade is less than 50, he is failed. Now let's copy by dragging from the handle down along to all my students. Great, I'll find that Rana's grade is 60 and it is located in my 4th range, so she is pass. And because 25 failed, 90 will be in the first possibility, excellent, and 80 lies between the second range and it is the second possibility, and also 73, it is good. Do you remember that if can take the decision of typing a specified text as we have learned in the previous example, when typing good, excellent, very good, failed, passed? Now I'm going to study with you another example in which Excel can do a specified calculation. Let's move on to the next example number 2, in which we have salesperson and their commissions and their sales. If the salesperson makes sales greater than $100, he will take a commission percent equal to 15% of his sales. But if his sales was less than 100 and greater than 90, he will take a commission that is equal to 10% of his sales. And if his sales was between 80 and $90, he will take a commission percent equal to 5% of his sales. Otherwise, no commission, and the commission value will be equal to 0. Let's practice it by clicking cell C20 to insert the first if function. And the first logical test will be to check if B20 is greater than 100. So I need Excel to multiply B20 times the percent of 15%. Otherwise, to open the second if function, and let's fill in the argument of the second possibility, which is if B20 is greater than 90, then I need Excel to multiply B20 times 10% of his sales equal to 0.1. Otherwise, I need Excel to open the third if function and the logical test, also to test if B20 is greater than 80. Now I need to multiply the sales times 5% only. And now we go to the end and we will type the commission is 0 if the sales is less than 80. Click OK to finish the formula. Now we have the commission for the first one is 22 because it is the same if we multiply times 0.15. Yes. Okay, let's copy the formula. Yes, it is obvious that because Maha and Wael didn't achieve a sales value greater than 80, their commission is 0. But Rana takes 5% of her sales because if we multiply times 0.05, the same we will get 4.4. But Noha takes 10% of her sales, and let's check by multiplying her sales times 0.1 and we will get the same 9.2. Thank you for watching Edupedia World Videos. See you at the next video.